Welcome to the podcast Living by Oak Values. My name is Robert, and I host this podcast with my friend Gary. Join us today as we dive deep and share meaningful stories and discuss the values that help shape our lives. We will explore how we use these values to guide us through life, influencing our decisions, relationships, and raising our kids. We are embracing a journey of personal growth and navigating our own paths. We are devoted to living by these values and passing them on to our children. We are thrilled to have you here today and can't wait to share our latest episode. Whether you're a longtime listener or just now discovering us, welcome. Join our Facebook community, Northman Legacy Crew, and feel free to introduce yourselves in the comments. Let us know what topics you're most interested in hearing about. Check us out at northmancoaching.com. Sign up with your email for behind-the-scenes sneak peeks and exciting updates. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Happy listening. In today's topic, we are discussing enthusiasm.
And on the back of the card, enthusiasm is described as urgent, or a desire, or an interest. Also a strong excitement of feeling. Enthusiasm is important. It's an important value for several reasons. It has motivation, positive energy, increased engagement, resilience, improved relationships, inspiration, enhances learning, career advancement, creativity and innovation, fulfillment, and happiness. And folks, this episode is brought to you by Northman Coaching and their Oak Value Cards. Are you looking for a little boost in motivation, self-improvement? If so, check out our Oak Value Cards and empower yourself with our motivational and insightful core value cards. Enter promo code enthusiasm for 10% off your order. So, Rob, I don't know what your thoughts are on enthusiasm, but before doing this work, and I don't mean this personal growth work, I mean the work that we've done together on this episode, I always thought that enthusiasm was something like at the end of the definition that excited me. But as I got to do this work with you, I'm understanding that it's an urgent or desire or interest. So if it's something that I don't love to do, but it has to be done, there's an urgency behind it, then you do show enthusiasm doing it because you're doing it urgently. Even though it's not something that you are excited about doing, but it's something that needs to be done and done now. So therefore, you are going to show enthusiasm while doing it. Did you know that or no?
No, I didn't. And it was the other day when we were doing the research for this that I realized how important this particular value is. I always thought it was what do you call the nice guy syndrome? Oh, the yes man.
Yes, man. Okay.
I always thought enthusiasm meant you were a yes man.
Really? See, I never got that.
Yeah.
So to me, enthusiasm, I can only relate a few things to enthusiasm based on excitement, which would be surfing or mountain climbing or hiking or something that really gets me going that I love doing.
What do you think the relationship between enthusiasm and being successful would be?
I think that enthusiasm and success go hand in hand in whatever it is that you're doing. I was going to put it toward work, but like I love surfing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I know the waves are good, I get to the beach. I will call out of work. I will do what I have to do to get there, and I'm enthusiastic about it. The enthusiasm allows me to be motivated to catch that wave, to ride the longest wave I can. So if I'm not motivated, so if the waves are not there, then I just go ahead and sit on the board. I'll meditate. It's still a good time, but it's not a successful surfing trip. Yeah. And when it comes to work, if I'm enthusiastic to get the job done and, I have the sense of urgency needed to get it done and I do it well, then once again, I feel like I'm successful.
What are some things that you do to give you that enthusiasm while you're working?
Think about getting done. Think about getting home. But if I'm faking it or I'm just trying to get done, then I might have to go back and redo something, which will keep me there longer. So I'm enthusiastic. I'm motivated to get it done, but I'm also going to make sure that I do the job properly so I can do it one time and get home. Do you think there's a difference between genuine enthusiasm and forced positivity?
So I would say yes, but I think it's more of being genuinely enthusiastic. You're that person who is eager to get started in the day, but being forced Positivity, to me, more like you walk around with a fake smile on your face. You don't have to be enthusiastic to be there. As long as you have that fake smile on your face, you're there. You're putting on a two-face.
So that to me sounds like the yes man.
It could be the yes man, yeah.
So how can you tell the difference if I'm being enthusiasm or if it's forced positivity?
Being enthusiastic, you're seeing the positive side of life, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But does that mean that you're a positive person? I don't know.
I don't know the answer to that one either. I feel like I relate enthusiasm to positivity.
But that's not part of the definition, and
It's not. You're right. But I cannot recall any time that I've been in a situation where something was urgent or had to be done, or I had a strong excitement for it, yet I didn't want to do it.
I just did my little Google thing, and it says that yes, enthusiasm is considered a positive trait, but people are more optimistic versus force positivity. And that, I think, is the difference. One is optimistic and one is positive.
Pessimistic?
No, positivity. If you're asking the difference between genuine enthusiasm, which is optimistic,
Right.
versus forced positivity, which says, hey, you need to wake up and you need to be happy every time.
Right. We discussed this when doing the notes. This is like
Yeah,
the fake it till you make it.
correct. Yes.
Gotcha. So you're putting on a face to people around you. It seem like you want to be there or you want to get this done when it's not so much that way.
Going off script just a hair. Part of being life coaches and doing this podcast, we need to show up to this job with enthusiasm. Does it mean we have to be positive? No, but we need to be optimistic that it's going to go somewhere. And yes, it is like the previous episode. There is a little bit of fake it till you make it, because you need to show up with optimism. In the Bible, they don't use the word enthusiasm. It's translated into the word zeal. Zeal, I think it is. It says show up with zeal. Don't let people see that you're disgruntled or unhappy.
It's funny you say that. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Because sometimes when I'm at work, I don't want to be there and I do show up with zeal. But sometimes I am disgruntled. Like something will upset me or throw me off. After I am disgruntled and I complain about things that are out of my control, then I reground myself and get back to where I need to be. I realize that those moments where I was coming apart the hinges or the seams or whatever, that people saw me and were like, wow, this guy is not very positive. He's like bringing the whole team down. And then I realized that, wow, okay, I need to turn this around. Whether I want to be here or not, I need to turn this around because I am bringing others down right now.
Yes. That also goes back to building your legacy. Who do you want to be and show up for? And how will they look at you? We already know that people see different perspectives of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But if you constantly show up for work and you got a sad face on you're showing up with a sad face, do you think people are going to say, "Hey, that's Gary the authentic"? No, they're going to say that's Gary. He hated his job.
Even show up with a smile on your face. If you're going to complain about things, I'll be Gary the complainer or whatever.
There's a difference even hiding in the closet at work, saying, "Hey, I don't want to come out of my closet to interact with other people."
Sure, yeah.
Showing up with a little bit of enthusiasm and zeal, faking it until you get the courage to constantly do it every day. It takes work. It takes a little bit of effort.
So how do you balance enthusiasm with staying grounded in reality, especially when pursuing ambitious goals?
I have to keep myself in check. It's the ambitious goals that keep your mind running late at night. It's like, oh, guess what? I got this project to do and blah, 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 blah. And your mind goes off in 100 different directions in the middle of the night. You constantly have to just say, I can only do what I can get done today and leave it at that.
I think if I catch myself being negative, I have to remind myself that people judge. People see me. I feel like I am a role model at work. I try to be a role model in life. I open doors for people. I help people whenever I can. So when I'm being negative or I'm focusing on things that are out of my control, I have to step back and like an out of body almost. I have to look down at myself or over at myself and be like, all right, this is out of your control. Get back to where you need to be. And if sometimes it's just simple breath work, I just close my eyes and drift for a minute, but I will reground myself before it's too late.
So there's a quote by one of the famous guys in history. Enthusiasm is the sparkle in your eye, the swing in your gait, the grip of your hands, the irresistible surge of will and energy to execute your ideas. By Henry Ford.
That's a beautiful quote, especially with his ideas that he executed.
But he was encouraging people to stay enthusiasm and to keep that zeal. And actually, a few things that you said, I do because my granddad taught me, is to open doors for ladies, especially at the church, to hold the door open for ladies.
But even today at work, I opened the door at the deli. I was delivering the mail,
Mhm.
and I got to the door, and there was a woman, and it could have been a man. Today it was a woman. It doesn't matter. It could be a kid, man, whatever. They were about 10 feet from the door, and I was there already. I opened the door, I let them in, and then I went behind them.
And to the listeners out there, what are some things that you can commit to that will build excitement in your life? Put a comment in the YouTube channel or comment in the Legacy Crew Facebook group. We would love to hear your answers.
And I personally challenge everyone listening to actually leave a comment.
All right, Gary. And what activities do you feel most energize you and keep you alive?
Well, there's several activities that energize me and keep me alive, but the number one, hands down, is surfing.
And what about surfing makes you enthusiastic?
Just the thrill of the ride, the work it takes to get out there, the timing, get the wave. Like if you do it right, there's no shortcuts out there. You know, you paddle out, you time it right for catching the wave. If you're too fast, you'll get clobbered by it. If you're too slow, you're gonna miss it. You got to be right on the money. You can't be in your head. If you think too much, you'll lose it. You'll fall. You'll get hurt. You just kind of got to let everything go and be almost in like a meditative state. And that's what I love about it. I love you just out there and you do your thing and you don't think too hard about it.
Enthusiasm helps when you work at it. It's not just like a one-time gratification. It helps when it's something that's it's like a slow gratification process.
So what activities do you do that make you feel energized or alive or alive?
I love driving old cars, and I don't go fast, but I go slow. But there's a sense of calming and peacefulness when you're just cruising down the road. Enjoy that feeling.
It's funny that what you do and what I do, and we both use the word meditative.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rob, what are some conditions or environments that help you feel most excited or passionate?
As a kid, I used to go help my granddad in the workshop. Going into workshops is an environment that gets me excited and enthusiastic because you get to see all the cool tools. You get to see how people work with their hands, etc., etc. So even visiting other car guys in their workshops, it's a very cool environment. It's not just the man cave. It's a workshop. It's where the work is done. It's behind the curtains at the Wizard of Oz kind of deal. So I had talked about how my granddad inspired me. Is there anybody in your life that inspired you or increased your enthusiasm?
Absolutely. You, for sure. You definitely inspire me on a regular basis. But yeah, then my parents inspire me. My daughter inspires me. But I think that you inspire me. I don't know. It's a toss between you and my daughter that inspire me the most. She inspires me to be a good person. And I think you inspire me to do better. I think you push me.
Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome, I think. How about for you?
Yes, definitely. You're on the top of the list, brother. You're
Awesome.
definitely somebody who does inspire me and keeps me enthusiastic. Have you ever seen a corgi race?
Nope.
And they got these little dogs and they put them in a horse race. And sometimes these dogs are running this race and they're just competing with each other. And that's what it feels like sometimes. It's just like we're just constantly going and keeping.
So you're saying that we compete against each other?
Not competing against each other, but we're running this race, keeping each other. You're staying close so that you can stay on track. I got to show you that corgi race, though. Those things are hilarious.
All right. And to the listeners, if you could pursue one thing that would spark your enthusiasm without limitations, what would it be? And once again, I would love for whoever's listening to this at whatever time to go to the YouTube channel while watching this, comment on it. If you're not watching on YouTube or listening on YouTube, then go to our Facebook page, the Northman Legacy Crew, and leave a comment. I want to know What's one thing that would spark your enthusiasm? All right, I have a quote here. Any man or woman can succeed at almost anything for which they have unlimited enthusiasm. And that's by Charles Schwab. What are your thoughts on that one? I mean, I feel like, I mean, if you have unlimited enthusiasm, then I think that you will succeed. I've never seen, not that I can recall, someone with enthusiasm, over the top enthusiasm that failed.
That's not true. I don't agree with that.
Okay. Well, let me rephrase that. Not failed, but failed and gave up. Because I always say that failure is not failure. Failure is just a step to success.
Learning to have enthusiasm after something major happens in your life is hard, but it's like riding a bicycle again. Once you learn, it slowly, gradually gets easier because you lose enthusiasm. After divorce, it was like, I didn't want to be here. I don't want to do anything. I didn't have enthusiasm even to get out of bed in the morning.
That sounds like depression to me.
And it could have been. I mean, well, and that could be part of it, you see? Because depression, you don't have enthusiasm.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I get that.
If you want to be successful in life, then you need to start learning how to be more enthusiastic. Yeah.
Well, if we're going to talk about my real enthusiasm, and that would be surfing, what role does it play? It's pretty shallow, but if the waves are good and the weather's good, that will inspire me to be enthusiastic about whatever I'm doing to get done so I can hit the beach.
What do you give up so that you can go ride some waves?
What do I give up or what do I let go?
It's kind of both. I mean, but so let's say if it's perfect weather outside and you're in the middle of working, do you just drop your mailbag and say, beep it, and I'm going to go surfing?
No,
Oh.
I can't do that. But I can look at the surf report in the morning and come down with some kind of illness and call out.
And how
Once
about-
I'm there, I'm there. But yes, so the surf report is looking good and the waves are good and everything is where it should be for an excellent day. Yes, I will be sick that day.
Mhm.
So, Rob, how do you stay connected to what excites you, even when you're busy or stressed?
So, especially when I'm stressed at work, the great thing is I get to take my old cars to work.
Mhm.
And so sometimes when I'm stressed out and I'm like, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here, I'll reach my hand into my pocket and feel my car key. And I'll be like, at least it's going to be nice in the afternoon and I'm going to be driving a cool old vehicle. And so then it's like, that kind of like, I got something to look forward to. Going home, a relaxing open air car.
You know what's funny on that note with the car key in your pocket? A friend of mine from back in the day suggested that, or was explaining to me how he has gratitude for things.
Mm.
And like we keep gratitude journals and all that stuff. But he has, and he got me started on it, a gratitude rock.
Mm.
It's a rock that I found at the beach, and it goes in my pocket every day at work, every day when I'm not working. And every time I put my hand in my pocket to grab my keys or whatever I got to get in my pocket, once I feel that rock, I take it out and hold it in my hand. And I don't, not always out loud, but I will show gratitude. I'm grateful for this great day. I'm grateful for the weather. I'm grateful for you in my life or whatever. But it's a lot like that key.
What activities or passions have you let go of, but would love to reintroduce into your life?
Well, I've got nothing that I can think of at the top of my head that I would reintroduce to my life at this moment. But when I got married or started dating my ex-wife before we got married, I gave up surfing. And it's not completely her fault. For a period of time, we didn't live near the ocean. And then, we got married and we had kids or kid. And I just thought that my time was better spent at home, working, making money. And then my free time was at home with her and the kid. So I had given up surfing. It did not take long at all after the divorce that I was like, I think that I'm going to pick it back up. And I'm telling you, it's like riding a bike. A little different. I remember the first time I went out and I fell off the board and I ate more seaweed and sand than I ever want to eat again. I got right back up, and that was the last time that I can think of that I fell that hard.
I think I actually have found enthusiasm in doing these podcasts and talking to people about these podcasts because it's an activity we do that is kind of like fulfilling. It has a passion. It has a purpose. I look forward to coming home, sitting an hour and a half talking to you about just one value every week. Just by doing that, that is an excitement incorporated into my life.
Nice. All right. And we found another quote, which I think we may have used before. Courage is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And that was said by Abraham Lincoln. We just said something similar earlier. Failure is not the end. Failure is just a step towards success. Yeah. I think very few people are successful off the bat. So Rob, how does enthusiasm impact your productivity?
So I've noticed that when I'm enthusiastic about a project, dude, I am 100% focused. Everything else takes a back seat, and I'm like the horse with blinders on it.
Okay.
I am zoomed in, focused, and moving forward as fast as I can. I get to a point, I get so focused that I want to finish the project no matter what. I get so enthusiastic to get it done. I am singularly focused on it, but it takes away from everything else. I can't focus on anything else.
I hate to bring surfing back up. I don't hate it, but I feel like I've brought it up a lot. So when I'm enthusiastic about going surfing, it's definitely a positive thing. But if I don't find that meditative state and I try too hard to focus, it doesn't work out. There's that certain dance with the waves that you have to be in that state, almost not caring. If you try too hard, you'll be too fast or you'll be too slow. You won't get up on the board at the right time and, it'll take you out. You can't be too focused, if that makes sense.
When you're at home and you're thinking about, well, should I go surfing today? Do you sometimes get anxiety issues just sitting there hoping that you can go surfing or not go surfing today?
Personally, no. I like to think that anxiety does not really affect me. I try to stay in the present moment. So if I think I'm going to go surfing, I'm most likely going to go surfing. Enthusiasm absolutely can lead to anxiety in certain situations anyway. So enthusiasm is often it's a positive emotion and it drives motivation and excitement, but it can also become overwhelming. For example, the pressure to maintain high energy levels, to meet expectations, or to perform can create stress and anxiety. And when enthusiasm is tied to an important event, then if you're set on outcomes, then the fear of failure or not living up to an expectation can also trigger anxiety. So it's important that when you are enthusiastic, that you balance it with realistic expectations.
All right. And in summary, enthusiasm is a vital value, and it enhances motivation, positivity, engagement, resilience, and relationships. It inspires others and facilitates learning and contributes to personal and professional success, leading to a more fulfilling and joyful life. And if you would like to go further or deeper on this topic, enthusiasm, reach out to us. We want to know you and hear your powerful story. Chat or connect with us by booking your free session on our website, northmancoaching.com. And folks, that's a wrap on today's episode. And of course, thank you all out there for listening. We are so glad you could join us today. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, Living by Oak Values. And if you feel generous, leave us a review. It really helps us out and keeps these conversations going. For more updates and exciting content, join our Facebook group, Northman Legacy Crew. Follow us on YouTube and TikTok, or visit our website, northmancoaching.com. We'll be back next week with another exciting episode that you don't want to miss. Until then, keep discussing your values, embracing the journey, take care, and stay authentic.